Hi, my name's Mark Hall. I'm the golf professional here at Cranbourne Golf Club. Today I'm going to do another part of on chipping. So the last video I did was in terms of understanding your halfway club. So what I just did before was, or in the last video, is I hit some chip shots, got it to land around about my 12 metre mark, which is my standard distance. Then the ball rolled out another 12 metres. So I did that with my gap wedge. A really important piece of information to know. So what happens from that point effectively is with a sand iron the ball will roll less, with a pitching wedge it'll roll more, 9-iron roll more, and those sort of things. So essentially once I know that, then chipping becomes much easier. So in terms of playing to this flag right at the back here, I've actually got a circle around that hole. So I can land the ball here and have it roll in any of this area here. I can land the ball anywhere on the green, let it roll. It's just a question of which golf club I use and the amount of swing that I'm going to need to play the shot with those clubs. So what I would need to do, and you'll see golf pros do this, is the caddy would stay here where the ball is and the player walks up onto the green and figures out where they want to land the ball. Now, in terms of this shot, if I want to go to the back flag, if I want to use my sand iron, I'm going to need to land it quite a long way up past that, or somewhere up near, say, the red and the blue flags here. If I want to use my 9-iron, I'm just going to have to land it shorter and let it roll more. So what a golf pro does is always wants to land the ball in the first part of the green, as close to them as they can, and just let the ball roll to the hole. So once you know what your halfway club is, you can then figure out where the ball needs to land. So if I take halfway distance from here to this back red flag that I'm going to, if I was going to use my gap wedge, I would need to land the ball somewhere about here. All right, so to get the ball to land here and then roll up to the hole, it needs to land about there. That's my halfway club. So if I was going to use my pitching wedge, I need to come back this way a little bit more, and I'd want to land it maybe in this area here. If I wanted to use my 9-iron, I'd want to land it back here. Now effectively with this chip shot, as a golf professional, I'd want to land the ball somewhere close to here. So as a really general rule with chipping, get the ball onto the ground as fast as possible. Chipping by definition is a low shot. So I'm just going to play a few different shots here. So I'll start with the sand iron. All right, so with the sand iron, obviously the ball is not going to roll as fast. So it's going to land further in the air and less on the ground than what my halfway club is. So realistically, to hit it back to that flag, which is probably the best part of 30 metres, I'm going to need quite a big swing to hit the ball that far. All right, now I can do it, that's inside the circle, so it's a pretty good shot, but I've had to take quite a big swing to hit it that far. Now, if we go to our gap wedge, which is my halfway club, I want to land that at halfway, so that's going to be obviously closer to about where those blue flags are, or the blue and the red flag just here. So it's more that sort of swing. Okay, once again, I got the ball to finish inside the circle, good shot, but it's quite a big swing to do that. Now, in theory, the easier shot though is actually to have less of a swing and just let the ball roll a little bit more, which is what chipping is. So chipping by definition, just a little swing and let the ball just roll up to the hole. So every good player knows what club that or how far each golf club rolls, so then measuring off is what they do when they walk up onto the green. So effectively what I just want to figure out is if I walk up to here, this is about where I want to land the ball in terms of that. So from a distance it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so if I played my ladder game, which is one of the games that we would practice, if you go to our website and search for the chipping videos, you'll find that there's a video on a ladder game. So I want to land the ball about 7. It's just a question of what golf club lands here and then rolls up to the circle. So with the 9-iron, I just needed to land it here. It's quite a small swing, it's not a really big one. With the gap wedge, I needed to land it all the way up here. So it's a much bigger swing. Now, some people will say, yeah, I'd rather hit the gap wedge or the sand iron, and that's fine, but understand that it's quite a big, much bigger swing. Now, if you get that wrong, if you hit a bit skinny or a little bit fat, the ball will make a massive difference in terms of how far the ball actually goes. So from a chipping point of view, you're always better off to keep the ball on the ground. So get it on the ground as fast as possible. So try and land the ball on the front part of the green, let it roll to the hole. So measuring off is figuring out how much roll each club has. So once you know what your halfway golf club is, obviously the pitching wedge will be more this way, the 9-iron will be further back. So in terms of playing to this blue flag over here, if I hadn't to go to that flag, well then the 9-iron, probably I wouldn't use the 9-iron because I've got to land in the fringe here. I'd want to take maybe my gap wedge or my sand iron, just pitch it up or chip it up onto the edge and let it roll out to the hole. So that's what measuring off is figuring out where you want to land the ball, what that distance is. So in this case it was 7 metres. What golf club lands at 7 and then rolls out to where the circle is, that's what I just figured out. For me, I would play this chip shot, same action, but I'd play it with a 9-iron, not the sand iron. Sand iron would be the worst club I would actually take. Even though I've hit all 3 of those balls inside the circle, the 9-iron would be the club I would take. All right, so essentially chipping is a low shot, keep it on the ground. So it's a shot that spends more time on the ground than it does in the air. If you're going to do that, understand what your halfway club is, know what your standard distance for landing is, and then if you've understood what the 50-50 club is, just allow more roll for the different lofted clubs. And that's how you improve your chipping.